Stardate 2024-11 for November-20. Happy Wednesday. Happy second day of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Managed to get in early in the morning today. Logged in with no problems. All our planes are here now. The download didn't take that long. There's about 70 airplanes here in the standard edition. I counted 35 per row, 35 per row. 35 times 2 is 70. So I think it's all there. I tried some of them, including the Cessna 152, the P-51, which I found a bug with the... I think it's a bug with right aileron and flaps that don't animate in external view, or from the cockpit view as well. A couple of other airplanes, but I tried that off stream. Everything seemed to be working okay. And now let's get straight into the new thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is the career mode. Let's go. We got Harry Potter, our character that seemed... I didn't strike out here to make Harry Potter. Hey, Fog.
I'm sure you will get your PPL in no time.
Fog is one. Welcome. I didn't try to make a Harry Potter. I just noticed after I made my character that he kind of looked like Harry Potter. There he is, right there. He's speaking of Tex Costello. The Cessna 172 Skyhawk seems to be available now. Let's go for this private pilot license.
That shows all the certification information you'll need for your PPL exam. Take a look.
Thanks, Tex. I like pen and paper too, but if all you have is a laptop, I'll use that. My plane's Nimbus. I could. I don't know if you can name planes in this, but I could try to give it as a tail number or something. Had the certification to pass already. I'm gonna pass it. Maybe I should start with the flight training first. Well, let's click on
Here
it.
You can see
arrows
all
pointing at it.
Let's do it. You can pass throughout your career. Your first step is to work towards your private pilot license.
The one in the middle, right there.
All the training lessons you'll need to pass the PPL exam are available here. Make sure you're comfortable with these before taking the exam.
Okay. Take the exam, cost 2,000 credits. I have 5,000 credits according to these annoying little flies. Get it. Alright. Should we take the exam or should let's do the basics, okay? It probably gives you some sort of... Hold up. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to get this fly that's been bugging me. Got it. Fall here in Michigan, when you live not far from a farm, the flies are getting cold, so they want to come inside. It's can be pretty annoying. Alright, time to know the basics. Before getting to know more about the aircraft controls, we'll go over basic camera and toolbar interactions. Alright, let's just do it step by step, okay, and see where it takes us. I'm sure I know most of this stuff, but maybe we get a Steam award or a Microsoft Flight Simulator credits, or just see the little flashing animated things appear on the screen and gives us a dopamine hit. So let's do it.
Welcome to Sedona. I'm Captain Jess Molina, and I'll be your instructor.
Hi, Jess. I'm Simon.
For this lesson, we're going to start on the ground and focus on some basic concepts. Fundamentals every pilot needs to know before hitting the skies. This is your plane, a classic, the Cessna 172. Take a look around it.
Okay, look around the plane using Shift I, Shift J. Well, that's a weird... Shift K. Oh, okay.
In the simulator, anytime you want, you can easily switch to cursor mode. The cursor is handy for interacting with menus and cockpit controls or
Hey, Grumpy Martin!
As you can see, activating the cursor also
Are you still having issues?
The toolbar at the top of the screen. The toolbar is a quick access menu that allows you to control various aspects of the simulation. Try to find and open the controls
I woke up
panel.
early and I turned it on and it went right in, and then I didn't turn it off. I just kept it on. Okay, the mission steps. Open the controls panel and toolbar. Controls panel, is that it?
The controls panel is a useful reminder of the button layout for the devices you're currently using. Now try to find and open the camera panel in the toolbar.
You didn't get in yet. Jeez, so they're still having issues, huh? I guess I'm pretty lucky. I mean, yesterday, after my stream yesterday, I tried to get in. For the rest of the day, I couldn't, so... You know. Okay, camera. Yup, the camera's there.
The camera panel allows you to access the various views and camera modes of the simulation. Go ahead and close all the panels for now. In front of you is the yoke, the primary means of controlling the aircraft. In the simulation, you'll be controlling the aircraft with your peripherals of choice.
Oh, here's Jess.
So,
whoa.
Let's hide the yoke for now.
Oh, she looks better than Christopher Walken, so that's a plus. But I do want to learn how to turn off pilots. I don't know if it's possible in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It was possible in 2020. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. Okay. Cockpit interaction, primary action, lockable. Point that you can hide it. Okay, you can hide it. Okay, still you can hide it.
All right, as we've seen, when you look around you, it's easy to rotate the camera. But you can also move it freely in the cockpit to get a better view of anything you want to see. Even through a window to look outside.
Okay, toggle free look hold. Okay, we're looking around. We can use scroll wheel to zoom in as well, and I've also mapped the zoom in keys to one of the hats on my stick. All right.
Now reset the camera to its original position.
Shift spacebar. Okay, that's good to know.
That covers all the main camera functions available in the simulation. Try to familiarize yourself with them a bit more.
Put the camera at default
then reset
position.
the camera to its original position whenever you're done.
Okay.
Great.
All right, and we got baby steps achievement, and we got aced it, achieved an A grade in any base, I guess, activity. All right, Harry's he's looking more dapper today. He's looking a little less worried. Yesterday he was quite, morose and quite upset because he was told he was going to have a Cessna 172 and it was a Bonanza, and the Bonanza didn't make any sounds, and it's a magic place, a simulator, so he thought maybe that's just to be expected. But today he's feeling better about how things are going. 100% of everything. Well, it wasn't that hard. Okay, next training. Whoa. Oh, I thought an airplane flew here over the house IRL, but it's, I think it was a four-wheeler or something. The Cessna 172 Skyhawk Aircraft Essentials Basic Handling. All right. As this is one of your first lessons, we'll start by getting familiar with the main aircraft controls and instruments. In this tutorial, you will learn about the yoke, the rudder pedals, and the throttle and RPM indicator. Okay. All right. Oh, they just materialized. We have this magic theme going on here with Harry Potter.
Let's get you familiar with the aircraft, a Cessna 172, and a few commands to navigate it through the skies. In front of you is the yoke. The yoke is like a steering wheel, more or less. Turn it left or right to control the ailerons and bank the aircraft into turns. Look at the trailing edge of the wings while turning the yoke to see the effect on the ailerons.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the difference between the yoke and a steering wheel is you can pull or push on the yoke. This controls the elevator at the back of the aircraft to make it climb or descend. Look at the horizontal stabilizer while you pull on the yoke. You can see how it affects the elevator.
There it is.
Nice. Down at your feet are the rudder pedals. They steer the aircraft when you're on the ground. The upper part of the pedals also control your brakes. In the air, they control the rudder at the end of the vertical stabilizer to yaw the aircraft. This is...
1 second. I just Jess reminded me that I have not mapped my toe brakes. I mapped them there. Are there any other... Can I have individual control over the toe brakes? Right parking brake, left park. They have... Oh, here you go. Left brake and right brake. Here you go. This is what I want. Okay, left brake. It's gonna be that one. Right brake. It's gonna be that one. All right.
It's mostly for small corrections. For coordinating turns or compensating for a plane's tendency to pull left during takeoffs and climbs. Look at the vertical tail while operating the pedals to see the effect on the rudder. Great.
All right.
Last but not least, the throttle is located near the center of the cockpit. Pushing forward will increase power. Pulling back will decrease power.
All right.
First, look at the throttle and select it.
You want me to click on it?
Keep it selected and push it forward to increase power.
All right. There's the mixture too that I did map yesterday. Okay, that's working. Good.
Power is increased. Now pull it back to decrease power. Power is decreased. Now we'll do the same without focusing on it. Deselect the throttle. Look away from the throttle and increase power. Set your throttle to idle. Excellent.
All right. It picked
When
up
the engine is on,
my
you'll be able to see the
controls
power
as well, my
change on your
stick
RPM
and my
indicator.
throttle. I didn't have to just use the
You will find it on your PFD screen
keyboard
in the top
to
left
do it.
corner.
PFD screen on top left corner. Look at the RPM indicators. Okay, let me shift and shift. It has to be left shift. Right shift doesn't work if you're using the keyboard. But since I, okay, RPM indicator, top left. They say, there it is.
This tells you how fast the engine is spinning in hundreds of revolutions per minute. Next, take a look at your current speed on the airspeed indicator. It's on the left on your PFD screen. It measures the speed in knots. To check your altitude, look to the altimeter. It's on the right on your PFD screen.
All right.
Not all aircraft have integrated screens with all this information. A lot of them rely on analog instruments.
Like these things over here.
You can find the analog versions of the airspeed indicator and the altimeter just above the throttle. They're respectively on the left and right.
There's airspeed indicator, analog. All right.
The analog altimeter has three hands similar to a clock. The long, thick pointer indicates 100-foot intervals. The short, thick one is 1,000-foot intervals. And the long, thin one counts 10,000-foot intervals. That's all for today. Next time, we'll see how it feels in the air.
All right, thanks, Jess. Another training complete. You know, just the basics. We're going through it. We know a lot of this stuff, but to be fair, I haven't spent much time in the 172. Most of my time in Flight Simulator has been in the 152. You know, the basic, classic airplane that doesn't have the glass cockpit. I think it's the same in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 as Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, that to get the non-glass cockpit, the one of all the analog gauges of the 172, you have to get the deluxe version or something, or the next one up. I just got the standard one for now, so we're gonna have the glass cockpit one. That's fine. I prefer analog gauges generally, but let's go over the next one. Okay, we're gonna be flying now. The basics of attitude management. Okay, controls the aircraft's nose position relative to the horizon, be it through pitch or roll. Ooh, it's getting a little jumpy here. In the image to the right, the lines represent the horizon position when ascending or descending. Okay, let's go. As soon as we get done with the training, we will go into the career. Plus, we need to do the training to get a private pilot's license. We could do the test without completing the training. We'll see how we're feeling, all right?
To help demonstrate pitch, I've drawn 3 lines on the windshield.
Oh, that's cool.
Notice how the middle line matches the horizon while we're flying level? This is the cruise attitude. The lower dotted line is the climb attitude, and the upper one is the descent attitude. Let's dig deeper into what that means. Pull back gently on the yoke until the climb attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude. According to your altimeter, we're gaining altitude. But we're losing airspeed, proving you can't avoid basic physics while making a climb. That's good. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Now, let's level back out.
And the little clicks is my
our speed is increasing
trim
and our
control.
altitude is stable. That's good. That's okay. Push gently on the yoke until the descent attitude line matches the horizon. Then maintain that attitude.
General rule of thumb, at least in this airplane, this little compass here, right smack in the middle of it, you're level.
Push on the yoke gently. As expected, with a nose-down attitude, our altitude is decreasing while our speed is picking up. Great. That's good. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Okay, bring us back to level flight. Now your speed is decreasing and your altitude is stable. Nice.
All right.
That's good. That's okay. Try to make only small adjustments to your pitch to avoid overcorrection.
Like test pilot training. Okay, wow, they give me a B for that one probably. Yes, Harry got a B. That's okay. We're not the most precise flyers. We're a bit, you know, rough with the controls often, but that's just the way we are here. Have the very flat sort of style interface. This I really miss when user interfaces had more depth to them, had some 3D-ness to it. Everything is so flat. You know, this started like about 10-15 years ago. I think Google started doing it and then everyone followed suit. But I miss a little bit of clickability. It makes things look clickable, you know, in user interfaces. All right, let's do the turning one. We're gonna use our ailerons, these little control surfaces on each tip of each wing of the airplane. You turn left, the left one goes up, the right one goes down, and if you turn right, vice versa.
For this lesson, we're going to use a line drawn on the windshield to indicate the cruise attitude. I I've also added another dotted line to help you bank properly for left turns.
Thanks, Jess.
Gently move the yoke to the left until the dotted line matches up with the horizon. Then maintain that bank.
Using a little bit of rudder too.
That's good. Watch your altitude. It wasn't constant during the turn. Now, let's see you level back out. All right. For the next step, turning to the right, let's see how you do on your own without any markings. You can see a series of notches representing 10-degree increments on the attitude indicator part of your PFD. As a general rule, you always want to keep your turns under 30 degrees.
Okay.
Start banking right until you're lined up with the second notch to the right on the attitude indicator. Then, maintain that 20-degree bank while remaining at the same altitude until I ask you to stop. Keep working on it, you'll get better. Keep working to maintain a constant altitude during the turn. Level us back out now. Great.
All right.
Remember, during a turn the aircraft tends to sink, you need to pull on the yoke to compensate.
All right. Probably a B for that one as well. I think we're just gonna take the test, or should we do the whole thing? Power settings, okay. Whoa, a little bit sleepy today. It was a lot of post-stream blog post writing, testing, and publishing on various social media websites.
Let's talk
Mostly
about the
Reddit
throttle.
about this game.
If you have the need for speed, then the throttle's for you. Full control over the power output of the engine.
And I'm trying to pay attention here, so
Cessna
you know, less
172,
chatty.
that
I'll let
relates
Jess do the
directly
talking.
to the RPM displayed on the tachometer on the PFD. Pull back on the throttle to reduce RPM to 1800.
Where's the RPM? I don't see the... Oh, there it is.
Look how your speed and altitude are also decreasing. Excellent. Okay, let's throttle back up to 2,400 RPM. Your speed is increasing now. As long as you maintain the same attitude, your altitude will keep climbing as well. Nice.
Yeah. Website is
That was
updated.
excellent.
There is guesstimator activated.
With
I don't have a
piston planes like
landing
this,
coming up right now,
it's
but
common
once
to
I
have
do...
power targets defined in RPM.
Once we have a mission that is a landing, you don't have to type guess, exclamation point guess anymore. You just have to type G. Okay, made it easier for you. There's more information right here. And I think it is working. I mean, I did a test. I did a test before the stream, and it was working. they're actively updating. Everybody is going crazy like an anthill that has had a rock thrown at it. You know, like everyone is going crazy in the Microsoft Flight Simulator community trying to update things and figure out how this new sim works. Including SimToolkit, the developer of SimToolkit Pro. So he has a message that the next version will use this different connection technique to the sim, which will make performance better. I'm still using the default one, which is compatible with it. So yeah.
The art of maneuvering a plane through the air isn't a mystery to you anymore. Now it's time to test the skills you've learned. As you can see, we're cruising at 6,000 feet on a north heading of 360 degrees. Start by descending to 5,500 feet while maintaining a northerly heading.
5,500 feet.
While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. If your speed is in the yellow section of the airspeed indicator, it means you are overspeeding. Reduce throttle to idle and pull gently on the yoke to slow down.
All right.
While descending, reduce throttle to avoid overspeed. That's good. Now, climb to 6,000 feet and turn to a south heading. On the Cessna 172, you need full power to climb effectively.
Turning and climb at the same time.
Nice.
6,000, all right.
The turn was good, but try to climb faster in the future.
Solid copy,
All
Jess.
Right. Next exercise. Maintain your heading of 180 degrees, stay at 6,000 feet, and adjust your airspeed to 80 knots.
Let's cut it. Not totally, because we want to maintain that altitude.
All right. That was excellent.
All right. Got a name for that one? Maneuver test training. It's funny, it records the landing speed. I don't know why. Pre-flight. Okay, every good flight starts on the ground, preparing your aircraft and taking unnecessary precautions. This is a weird bug, like it keeps flashing. It's essential for every pilot, regardless of experience. They will learn how to do just that, which tools can help us reaching that goal. Okay, it's gonna be the walkabout. Here he is.
Hello.
All right.
Today we're going to go over all the steps that
Let's
precede
pause
turning
tracker,
on your
yeah.
engine. Those steps are essential to ensure your aircraft's integrity and that everything is in order for a smooth and seamless flight. First of all, stretch your legs a bit and take a look at your aircraft and your surroundings. We never took much time to look at our aircraft from the outside, so take your time if you want to inspect it. You might have noticed some extra bits on your aircraft. These are the covers and chocks. Covers are installed when the plane is not in use and are meant to avoid damaging its sensitive parts. Chocks are there to immobilize the aircraft. You'll need to remove them before takeoff.
Okay. How do I remove it? Oh. There you go. Static port cover. All right. And the chocks. All right. Middle mouse button switches from cursor mode to look around mode. Remove the pitot tube cover. There you go.
And we're done for the outside. Now that we're sure your aircraft is functional and ready to taxi, let's check the inside.
You don't want to like hold to lock. I'm confused about these things. Holding to lock doesn't really seem to do anything. Let's see if there's an actual sound now when you open this today. There is, nice. Probably wasn't there yesterday because I didn't finish downloading with all the server trouble. Alright, let's get inside. Condition UC, why can't I? Why can't these turn green as well? Maybe they're not supposed to. It's a video game, you want to click and make things green if possible. Put check boxes on everything. You have to be close for it to turn green. How about the flaps? Will these turn green? Huh. Maybe I had to crouch and look up to make it turn green. Right, ailerons don't seem to want to do that. I don't know if it's a bug, I don't know if it's a... See, this little thing that usually spins, it gets stuck. Ah, I have to move it up and down. Okay, we have to move it all the way up and all the way down. That's why. Alright, let's try this one. Alright, now I got it. This one too? Yeah, she's like, you go do this, I'm gonna stay here and observe. Oil cover. Oh, nice, can check the oil. Okay, that's pretty cool. I do that in a truck here in West Michigan. This one is bugging me because I want to be able to make it turn green. But maybe since I don't have any baggage, it doesn't All right, let's go inside. All right, can click to
Let's get to
enter.
the matter at hand. You've been given
Yes,
an
I'm clicking on them.
also referred to as an
I
electronic
do
flight
middle
bag.
mouse button
It's a tablet that stores critical
for the
flight
cursor to
information
appear,
and is the ideal
and then
tool
I
to
click.
prepare your flight plans and
Except
enhance
for
your
the...
piloting experience. Open it and take a look.
Did I just
Feel free to follow
break
a
something?
quick guided tour of its features.
Except for the moving things, you have to move them all the way up, and you click and hold them, and you move like the aileron all the way up and all the way down, and then it turns green. That took me a while to figure out. Tab.
The YEFI features an interactive map, a flight plan editor, aircraft and current flight information, a nav log, as well as fuel and payload options. The YEFI has plenty to offer, but if you want to get directly into the action, you can turn it off after you finish the quick tour.
Okay, Atlas. Plan your next flight, check your navigation map, check airport information, and charts. And apparently now Microsoft Flight Simulator has a built-in planner that you can access through a web browser that connects to the sim. You sign in with your Xbox account, and you can plan a flight on your phone or, you know, on the computer when you're at work and thinking about playing Microsoft Flight Simulator when you get home. And then your flight plan, you can load it in from here. Which sounds pretty awesome. Wait, pilot book settings. Okay. And other applications, probably also third-party ones. Ah, what? Maybe this is where you can put the co-pilot, maybe? Aircraft seats, maybe here. I mean, I'm not going to mess with it now because this is, I think the co-pilot just has to be there because, you know, she's instructing us. But maybe this is where you can turn off Christopher Walken when...
It seems like we're all clear on the checklist. Now
have a good one, Fog. Thank you so much for dropping by. Don't work too hard, huh? My pleasure. Thanks for dropping by. And thanks again for Spaceborne. I will play it eventually. Quick start with control E checklist. Should we do the checklist? Tab. Aircraft checklists. Okay, I did all this stuff. Parking brake is set. Ignition switch off. Avionics master switch off. Wow, this is a lot of stuff. Okay, let's just let it do it for us because we want to get going here. I'm going to complete this training before the end of today. Control E.
Now that we've covered all the preparations, let's get to the good stuff, shall we?
All right, Ari. Hey, we cheated a bit of the Control E, but that's okay. We want to fly. We don't want to click in the cockpit right now. All right, can take the exam. Okay, taxiing. Takeoff, landing, downwind. Let's take the exam. Let's try it. Now 5,000. There are credits in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, cool. You have a little setting to turn off, on and off the clouds here. Okay, we're gonna take off, initial climb, then we're on downwind, then we go to base, then we go to final, and then we go to landing. (1,000 feet above ground level as the usual altitude for traffic patterns. $55, 75 knots climbing speed, crossing length 1 to 1,000 feet above ground level while maintaining 75 knots. Turn left, maintain 1,000 feet. Throughout the downlink leg, do not exceed 19 knots. Once abeam the touchdown point, fly at 80 knots. Okay, 75, then 80, extend 10-degree flaps. Base, land at 75, extend 20 degree of flaps, and turns for the final approach to the guide slope at 65 knots, smooth landing. So take off 55, cruise 75, glide to touchdown 65. Here, I'll note those numbers down just so we're gonna try to maintain them. 55 TO for takeoff, 75 cruise, 65 landing, and 1,000 feet AGL above ground level, and 10 degrees of flap on base, 10 degrees of flaps on base, 18 knots base, 10 degrees flaps, and then for landing they want us to put 20 degrees flaps. Let's try to remember it. Forgot to turn on the clouds back on. Oh, maybe it was just it's just a setting for the briefing there. Maybe in the sim they will be on no matter what. All right, Ari, you ready?
It's time. Your first ever check ride. Start by removing the covers and chocks, then join me inside.
Okay. Gonna do the walkabout properly. Hey, Tina. For the wheels, the confusing thing is you have to keep looking at it for a little bit until this little circle here, there's this little circle to the right. It's a little hard to see because it's blue on dark gray. It'd be better if it was green, more contrast, and it slowly turns around. It's the time you spend looking at it that determines it. Oh. And it's a little tricky to, Whoa, thank you for following Anasora1. Left tire is okay. Is that everything? This is the only one that bothers me. I can't get this thing to turn green. Okay, we're gonna enter and we're gonna skip to taxi, okay? We're not gonna learn to turn it on by heart today. Alright, we're on our own. It's a solo, so let's talk to the tower. Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot. Announced taxi.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot Traffic HyperTextHero Charlie Charlie Yankee 668 is taxiing to runway 30.
Let's see the what the automated weather says about
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot automated weather
wind direction and speed.
1900 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 9er. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1,700 feet. Few clouds at 4,700 feet. Temperature 15.
Sounds good. We're gonna go to on runway 30. Let's take a look around, see if we still remember how to look around of this drone view. Oop. No wind, almost no wind, like maybe a 5-knot wind there, he said, I think. This is runway 30, so okay, we're gonna turn left and go that way. All right. A little rusty of the plot with the drone view here. I'm gonna have to eventually remap it to something I'm more used to.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot Traffic HyperTextHero Charlie Charlie Yankee 668 is taxiing to runway 30.
All right, brakes off. Oops, I turned the wrong way, I think. It's okay, there's no plane here, so we can just go this way. I don't think there is collision modeling. We cut it close there. A little bit of a freeze there. And if we don't pass, then I guess we lost 2,000 credits. We'll do our best. A little choppy there. Ooh, and some odd placement of the lights here. Appears to be a tug coming towards us right on Charlie. All right, let's turn right and to make sure we avoid this tug. I think we can go one over. Ooh, when I braked with the left brake and the tires leave a track. That's a nice detail. I don't think that was in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Follow quiet. We'll give you food when it's time for you to eat, which is not now. Is this the runway up here? I believe it is. Nice little iPad holder here. Oh, it's not Jess with us? Someone else. I thought it would be Jess would be our check, our instructor. Okay, let's hold short of 30 and let's talk to the tower. Putting the brake on again. That is the tower. Okay.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot Traffic HyperTextHero Charlie Charlie Yankee 668 taking off runway 30 left closed traffic.
Okay, I'm gonna take off. We're gonna climb to 1000 AGL, do a left-hand turn, get in the pattern, and land. Seems clear. All right, here we go. Full power. .55 knots, rotate. We're airborne.
Salinas Airport information, Kilo 1900 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,700 feet, few clouds at 4,700 feet. Temperature, 15. Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter 299er2.15. ILS runway tree 1 in use. Landing and departing runway tree 1. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Kilo. Salinas Airport information, Kilo 1900 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,700 feet, few clouds.
All right, we're at 1,000.
700 feet. Temperature, 15. Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter 299er2.15. ILS runway tree 1 in use.
So 75
Landing
knots
and
for
departing
cruise.
runway tree 1. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Kilo. Salinas Airport information, Kilo 1900 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,000.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic HyperTextHero. Charlie
I don't know why they started doing the alternated weather.
Upwind runway tree
1
0.
tree. Altimeter 299er2.15. ILS runway
Shush.
tree 1 in use. Salinas Airport information.
Goodness sake,
Kilo
little buggy,
1900
okay.
Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,700 feet, few clouds at 4,700. Salinas Airport information. Salinas Airport information, Kilo 1900.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic HyperTexHero. Charlie Yankee 668 1 miles. Southwest 900 feet inbound touch. And go left traffic runway tree
Still
0.
buggy, the ATC American Stuff License Number 2024.
Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter 299er2.15.
They're putting flaps down to 10 degrees.
ILS runway tree 1 in use. Landing and departing runway tree 1.
I think I should have done that a little earlier, but that's alright.
Direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot traffic HyperTexHero. Charlie Yankee 668 2 miles south 900 feet inbound touch. And go left traffic runway tree 0.
Visibility, 9er.
For goodness sake, I'm gonna turn off the radio.
Salinas Airport information, Kilo 1900 Zulu.
How do you turn off the
Wind
radio?
calm.
Anyway,
Visibility,
let's just land.
9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,700 feet, few clouds at 4,700 feet. Temperature, 15. Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter 299er2.15. ILS runway tree 1 in use.
Kilo Hotel Alpha Foxtrot
For
traffic
goodness
HyperTexHero.
sake.
Charlie Yankee 668 is on final runway tree 0
20
touch.
degrees of
Then
flaps.
go left traffic.
Short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Kilo. Salinas Airport information, Kilo 1900 Zulu. Wind calm.
I better learn where the radio control is for this because I want to turn it off when it's buggy like this.
1,700 feet, few clouds at 4,700 feet. Temperature, 15.
Touchdown is 65 knots. A little bit below.
Altimeter 299er2.15.
Feel free to put in a
ILS
guess
runway
if you
tree
want.
1
If you're around,
in
then you
use.
know what I'm talking
Landing
about.
and departing runway tree 1. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Kilo. Salinas Airport information, Kilo 1900 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility, 9er. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,700 feet, few clouds at 4,700 feet. Temperature, 1.15. Dew point, 1 tree. Altimeter 299.2.15.
Bloody
ILS
hell.
runway tree 1
Okay.
in use. Landing and departing runway tree 1. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All
I had to
aircraft
scroll
read back.
down.
Hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact.
Kilo Hotel, Alpha Foxtrot, traffic HyperTextHero, Charlie Charlie Yankee 668, 1 miles northwest, 100 feet.
I would expect that for the checkout ride for your first solo to be in a with a towered place.
Kilo Hotel, Alpha Foxtrot, traffic HyperTexTHero, Charlie Charlie Yankee 668.
The confusing thing is that I had to scroll here instead of them showing the whole thing. You had to scroll. Hell, let's just park it and see what happens. Probably a fail.
Kilo Hotel, Alpha Foxtrot, traffic HyperTexTHero, Charlie Charlie Yankee 668 is taxiing to runway tree 0. Kilo Hotel, Alpha Foxtrot, traffic HyperTexTHero, Charlie Charlie Yankee 668 is taxiing to parking.
Go back and park where we had taken off from. We're going off-road here, doing a little bit of off-roading. Let's put the flaps up. Get back onto the ground here. Interesting. It's more bumpy in 2024 than in 2020. When you're off a designated taxiway or road or runway. You go off road, the plane it gets quite bumpy. It's too bad you can't move these sun visors. I wonder if the JPL Logistics Cessna 152 will be updated for this sim. I expect it will, because the people who make those mods, you know, they're the real enthusiasts. So if they're still into the game, I'm sure they'll update it, and then that will become my main airplane. All right. Well, we're in one piece. I don't know if they'll give us a passing mark with that radio confusion there. But at least we arrived in one piece, right? Oh, almost clipped that Bonanza. Brakes. Control E. Let's just cut the mixture. All right. Anything else I have to do to tell them that I'm done? No? my instructor didn't say a word. So I think that that means they're not very... Oh, you can toggle the position. Ah, you click on that thing. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay. Can you open the door? Yes, you can. Nice. Okay. Let's get out. Maybe have the mission steps here. Nope. Okay, odd. Weird. I'm just gonna abort. I think the game got confused because before I take off, I didn't announce takeoff. Because I didn't see that you had to scroll down to see more options in that. Alright. And you can choose different aircraft for your exam. All right. Let's continue our training. Give me half hour, Apollo. Actually, you know what? I'll feed you cats now. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be right back. Okay, have a look. Alright, let's go.
Let's take a moment to talk about taxiing. Taxiing refers to moving the aircraft on the ground under its own power. In particular, getting from the ramp out to the hold short point on the edge of the runway. Steering on the ground is managed through the rudder pedals.
Oops.
That's right, unlike driving a car, we turn by using our feet. Okay, ready? With the throttle idle, release your parking brake. Next time, make sure your throttle is at idle before releasing the parking brake. Now, gently increase throttle to get the aircraft moving. Go easy on your throttle. Use your rudder pedal to turn left and enter the taxiway. Increase throttle to gain forward momentum and then reduce RPM accordingly to match a fast walking speed while taxiing. Now, test the brakes. Good. Brakes checked. Taxi to the next exit, then come to a stop.
So,
Remember to control your speed with throttle and brakes. See the crossing in front of us. Stop before it, as if traffic was coming off the runway. Watch your speed. All right, taxi to holding point Alpha 1 next. It's at the far end of the airport, near the head of runway 21. Stay as close as possible to the taxiway center, marked by the yellow line, and watch your speed.
what is taxiing speed? Regular taxiing speed, I'm not sure. There's a 2, 1A1. Do we stop here? Like a stop sign.
After the right turn, come to a stop before the hold short point, in prep for takeoff. You've mastered that lesson.
That was it?
The
All
next
right.
challenge will be to keep the aircraft under control while at full throttle for takeoff.
All right, Harry, getting excited. Another A. He's got his nice puffy green jacket, his jeans, and his light orange shoes. Tower, this is HyperTextHero going to take off.
There's an old saying I like, a mile of road will take you a mile. A mile of runway will take you anywhere. Taking off isn't hard, but there are a few key points to remember. First, we always take off into the wind, which won't be an issue on a calm day like today. Second, before we enter a runway, we always make sure it's clear. Check to the right to see if a vehicle is on the runway. And to the left to make sure no other planes are approaching. Runway numbers are not arbitrary. Each number matches the first 2 number of the runway's compass bearing, rounded to the nearest 10 degrees. For example, a runway orientated towards the north would be numbered 36, which is 360 degrees on a compass. Everything looks good, no cross traffic. Go ahead and taxi into position.
No talking to the tower?
Now slowly taxi onto the runway and align the plane with the center line. Then stop your plane just after the number 21.
Nice sound. Very subtle.
Not bad. All right, let's do this. Apply full power, and I'll walk you through the takeoff as we go. Use your rudder to stay on the center line, and keep pushing power until you reach 55 knots.
$50 knots, 55.
Good. Now, gently pull back on the yoke. And we're airborne. Line up the top of your instrument panel so it's a couple of inches above the horizon. That'll pitch us up and set a good climb attitude. Maintain 75 knots, and we'll reach our target altitude of 5,500 feet in no time. Focus on flying straight. Use your rudders to remove the left yaw plane as when climbing. You can see your current yaw input by looking at the MFD's slip skid indicator.
Second, did I? Sorry, I'll be right back. Forgot something. Okay, active pause, I guess, works. Track IR is a little bit crazy because I'm moving her all the way around. Let's keep going. P.
Maintain 75 knots and climb to 5,500 feet.
Almost there. There. A little more, a little more. Okay.
Okay, 5,500 feet. You've reached your target altitude. Good job.
Now the landing of yoke management. Not an egg yoke, is the yoke of the plane. When it's a stick, and when it's like the little wheel that you turn like a car, but it's not a car, it's just an airplane, but you can push it in and out. That's called a yoke for some reason.
For this landing exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65 knots. Pitch down if you're going too slow. Pitch up if you're too fast. Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does.
I'm gonna do a forward slip.
500.
To bleed airspeed. So much for yoke only.
We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Nice. Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. I think a bit more practice may be a good idea.
Yeah, C or a D? C. Retry it. B or above. Come on.
For this landing exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65 knots. Pitch down if you're going too slow. Pitch up if you're too fast. Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does.
I think she means maintain 65 knots once you're above the runway.
500.
I put the flaps down momentarily to try to bleed a bit more airspeed, but then I put them back up again.
We're coming up on flare height. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Resist the temptation to pull back. Nice. Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. Well done, but there's room for improvement. Keep in mind that approaching the runway at the right speed is key to a good landing.
Alright, maybe that's a B. Should we try, let's try again for an A. And just keep the throttle totally
For this landing
closed.
exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65
have my
knots.
feet
Pitch
off
down if
the
you're going too
rudder
slow.
pedals.
Pitch up
No
if you're
rudder.
too fast. Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does. We're coming up on flare height. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Resist the temptation to pull back. Nice. Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop. Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. Well done, but there's room for improvement.
You want more improvement, huh? Well, I think I'll stay here. Almost an A though. Let's try one more time. Next time I'll click on scoring details too to see what they want me to do that I'm not doing.
For this landing exercise, I want you to focus on the yoke only. We're close enough to the runway to land safely without adding any throttle. Maintain a speed of around 65 knots. Pitch down if you're going too slow. Pitch up if you're too fast.
I'm gonna put 20 degrees of flaps.
Keep your airspeed at 65 knots. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare. To flare means to raise the nose of the aircraft to slow your descent for a softer landing, but without ever leveling off or climbing. The main landing gear will touch down before the nose wheel does.
I thought they said no need to actuate the flaps, but on the test ride they say 20 degrees of flaps. So I put that 20 degrees of flaps and now that's letting me keep the speed at 65.
We're coming up on flare height. Resist the temptation to pull back. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Nice. Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
Yeah,
Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. That was excellent.
Okay, there you go. Whoa! Scoring details. Follow glide slope. I had to put 20 degrees flap for the 65 knots, otherwise it would go faster. Flare the aircraft. Stop the aircraft. Okay, fair enough. Glide slope was the worst thing. Flare wasn't so good. The rest was alright. What's next? Landing throttle management. Second landing throttle will allow you to focus on throttle management. Throttle adjustments will allow you to manage the aircraft's glide path from the final approach without having to rely on the elevator. Even if you are focusing on the throttle, do not hesitate to make small corrections with the yoke to stay aligned with the runway. Alright. Track IR, it gets all crazy, the flight plan view.
In the first part of this landing exercise, I want you to stay on the glide path by using the throttle. You can make small corrections with the yoke to stay aligned with the runway. Smooth action on the throttle is key for remaining on the correct glide path. If you find yourself too high, reduce your power. If you're too low, increase it. Remember though, always make soft corrections. You don't want to overcompensate. Now you can use the elevator to land.
I'm watching the MFD and trying to keep to aim at the two big markers, the runway tip that's closest to us. We're 71 knots, a little bit faster.
Reduce throttle to idle. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it. Nice. Now, apply the brakes to slow us down.
Bit of a hard
and bring
landing.
the plane to a stop.
And it'll be a B or a C.
You did well, but you can do better.
Okay, let's do it without looking at the MFB. Let's just keep our eyes out the window. We'll try one more time. One nice thing in my testing before the stream that I found
I want you to stay on the glide path by using the throttle.
in 2024.
You can make small corrections with the yoke to stay aligned with the runway. Smooth action on the throttle is key for remaining on the correct glide path. If you find yourself too high, reduce your power. If you're too low, increase it. Remember though, always make soft corrections. You don't want to overcompensate. Now you can use the elevator to land.
So yeah, one nice thing that I found in MSFS 2024. Of course, I would like to have damage modeling. I don't know if they will ever implement it. But when you crash in this now, instead of having to wait for ages and being booted back to the, at least in free flight, instead of being booted back to the menu, you immediately start again close to where you crashed. Back on track, they call it. You know, it's better than before, but it would not be nice if they actually implemented
Reduce
damage
throttle to
modeling on
idle.
this. At least some basic damage modeling just on
Now,
the
focus on the
control
end of the
surfaces
runway
and
pull back
the
slightly on the yoke
landing
to aim
gear
the
maybe.
nose just above it.
Oops, bounced. Bad landing.
Nice. Now apply the
Oh! Too fast. Bad landing.
In the first part of this landing exercise, I want you to stay on the glide path
today
by
I'm
using the throttle.
I'm tired, and I
make
see
small corrections with the
it
yoke to stay
reflected in the
aligned with the
performance
runway.
in the sim. I'm thinking too
Smooth
much.
action on the throttle is key for remaining on the correct glide path. If you find yourself too high, reduce your power. If you're too low, increase it.
Flaps are 20 degrees, right?
Remember though, always make soft corrections. You don't want to overcompensate. Now you can use the elevator to land.
A lot of things happening here. We have wind, we have speed,
Reduce throttle to idle.
we have control surfaces.
Now, focus
We
on the
have
end
gravity.
of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
It's better.
Nice. Now, apply the brakes to slow us down.
So be careful
and
with the
bring the plane to a
brake.
stop.
Brake plus aileron, sudden aileron movements doesn't
That
make
was
the
excellent.
C-172 happy. Although that was the best one, I think. Got a name for that one. Yeah, the flight model is better in this, definitely better in this than Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. There's more nuance at low airspeeds. I find there's a lot more nuance in the controls. A lot more like if you touch one wheel down before the other and you overcompensate very quickly with the yoke, the plane can start bouncing back and forth. There's like I think the strut bounces it back, and then that can lead to a crash. All right, full on landing. What goes up must come down. Okay. Are they going to have navigation too? Instructor not going to talk. I'm just going to go in and land.
Today, you're in charge of bringing us in for a safe landing. And I've already set us up in landing configuration at 65 knots with 20 degrees of flaps. Keep your aim point on the runway threshold. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare.
Nose higher to reduce speed. Okay, now we're at 65 knots. Very slow. Very different from a combat flight sim. This and Flight of Nova Space Sim that I play are the two games that you have to pay attention to numbers if you want to, you know, get the green light, the green check boxes to appear.
Reduce throttle to idle. Now, focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Yeah, very bouncy.
Now, apply the brakes progressively to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
You really feel the weight of the plane.
Use rudder pedals to stay on the center line. That was excellent.
1-2 boss! Training complete. What's next? There's more downwind now.
Okay, we're currently flying on the downwind leg, at the standard traffic pattern altitude of 6,000 feet. It's a flight path parallel to the landing runway, but in the opposite direction. In downwind, you want to start preparing for landing. That means setting your speed and flaps configuration. We are passing the end of the runway, so go ahead and reduce RPM to 1700. It will help you to slow you down to 80 knots and begin your descent. The flaps provide extra lift at the expense of additional drag. This extra lift allows flying at a lower airspeed. Flaps allow for smoother and shorter landings. Go ahead and extend 10 degrees of flaps, all while maintaining current speed. We will turn to the base leg when the end of the runway is at a 45-degree angle behind us. Turn left onto the base leg.
Nice graphics.
Try to keep our speed around 75 knots. Keep an eye on the runway as we get ready for our final turn. Turn left onto final. Keep a stabilized approach with 65 knots airspeed and prepare for landing. Use throttle and flaps as required to adjust the glide slope.
And coming from the opposite direction than the prior lesson. Auto's cut. Bit of a fast
Apply the brakes
touchdown.
and stop the plane. You followed the traffic pattern well. Good job.
Okay, I'll take that. Let's go back to certification and take a look from headquarters. What else do we have? First solo flight. Let's do it. Takeoff 55, 75 knots, climb to 5,700 feet. We turn left on the crosswind 75 knots. Then on the downwind we go up to 80 knots, 6,000 feet, 10 degrees of flaps. Then turn left on base. Oh, 1 second.